Welcome everybody to another video of Vinyl Addict. This is Chili.
And I'm Kent.
And we are going to do the challenge of the vinyl tap, or vinyl, what is it?
It's just like a questionnaire.
Vinyl tag.
Yeah.
Vinyl tag.
Okay.
We were kind of late to the game on this, but you know what? Here we are, because we wanted to do it together. And so, take it away with the questions.
Alright, so I think we got 20 questions here. First one up is, how many records do you own?
I own around 1,500.
Otherwise known as a shit ton. Apparently at one point, didn't you have, like, you lost your entire collection?
Yes.
And you just got back up to this number. If you would have had your old collection and your collection currently, I wonder where you would have been at.
Huh. Wow. I'd say I had like around 2,000 before. Around that much.
Pushing almost 4K.
Yeah.
Alright, well, yeah, I have a ways to go. I think I have a decent amount in such a short time. I got around 250.
250?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, about that collection I lost, that was a lot of 90s stuff, because that's when I was collecting big time, was in the 90s.
And then CDs were taking over, so those 90s records were probably expensive looking back on it.
There's one-of-a-kind 90s stuff, and it was, you know, you get like the white Nirvana Unplugged, the pink Melvin's Stoner Witch that came out, all those kinds of things that, you know, just came out in the 90s, gone. White vinyl.
The only way I can relate to that is Pokemon cards. I had like the OG Pokemon cards, and now you look at YouTube videos and everything else, and it's just like $1,000 Charizard, right. And I'm like, that shit got tossed out when during a move or something.
That Black Crowes America was white vinyl too. So, all right, next question.
Next question. What kind of record player do you have?
I have a Fluence. It's kind of black, piano colored. It's just something that a house like it's a furniture type of record player. It was, you know, it's not a DJ with all the pitch controls and the lights and all that. It's something for the house.
And my answer is, I have whatever the best selling record player at Target is. That's what I have. I had something better before, but it
took a shit.
It took a shit. It does its job. Not much else to say about that.
Okay.
And 3. How old were you when you started collecting records?
First records I had was when I was 10.
Damn.
Yeah.
I know that you were a huge catalyst in me collecting records. I've always liked music. I always collected like CDs and stuff. So it was quite recent, like 3, maybe 4 years ago. I'd say like 25. 25 is when I started collecting records. What is...
Welcome to the party.
What is the oldest record you own?
Okay, I guess after we were looking through it, the Elvis Presley. This is the second one. Yeah, this is a little demo one.
What's
here.
On that?
Rip It Up. Paralyzed.
I'm gonna sound kind of dumb right now. He did Long Tall Sally.
Yeah, he kind of covered it himself. That was a Little Richard thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this one, not for sale. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like those are one of those, you know, you see Elvis everywhere, garage sales. And The Graduate, I see that record. I don't know how many.
No, it's the Herb Alford one with the Tijuana brass. You see that everywhere.
So my oldest, what year was that? Did you say?
56.
56. I got like 1958. This is my grandma's record. She gave me a couple records when I started collecting. Johnny Cash. The songs that made him famous. It was cool because I wanted a Sun record, you know, because of the history behind it. So, pretty excited.
The songs that made him famous. Walk
the Line. All that good stuff.
What about A Boy Named Sue? That's the song that made him famous now.
Shit.
Okay.
All right. Next up, what is the first record you ever got?
First record I ever got, my mother got it for me. I was 10 years old. There was actually 2 records when I was just that day, but it was Rush Moving Pictures It was at El Toro base. It was a army base in California, and we were in the Navy Exchange, and they had records there, and I wanted this one because they just kept on playing Tom Sawyer on the radio, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Because his voice sounded like a fucking android, and I was into science fiction and stuff, and
You know, it's kind of you say android. For a while when I was younger, I thought like it was a female singing. I
Really?
know it's blasphemous.
Okay, no,
but
maybe
I thought it was a chick for a second.
maybe the earlier stuff he
Okay.
could have because his voice was really high, but
Mhm.
yeah, this one it was like I was into this stuff. It didn't remind me of his singing. Didn't remind me of anything else. Didn't have a kind of blues kind of or punk kind of background to it. It was just like it was kind of its own thing, you know.
Okay.
So Rush, Moving Pictures.
First record I ever bought, Misfits, Earth AD. People dispute whether this is the third Misfits album of the Danzig era or the second one when it comes to like Static Age. Just for the sake of argument, based off the year it was released, I'm going to say it's the second one. Just look at that album cover. That's just gnarly. Look at the back. All right, goat head, corpses.
Hopefully that light will.
Yeah, hopefully it does it justice. I thought it was, you could say maybe that's Doyle Frankenstein. It was cool. The cover was awesome. At this point, I listened to like a bunch of Misfits songs.
And you got the tattoo.
And I got the tattoo. To be honest, I wasn't that familiar with this album. Ironically, that's the first one that I bought. It was just the cover that really got me. Come to find, this album was probably like the most hardcore Misfits album that they ever released. It was like just heavy stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I like more of the poppy Misfits stuff. But this was interesting. I still liked it. I still enjoyed it. But
the other ones
got pretty heavy.
The other ones you could kind of croon to, like Little Angel Fuck.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. What do we got up next? We got... what is the first record you got with your own money? That's still going to be Misfits Earth AD for me.
Okay. For me, after saving up some lunch money for a week or so, this was a double album at the time when it came out, and double albums were fucking like big, like mammoth. And it was Prince 1999. Fucking 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 songs on here, but they were all like 9-minute songs, 10-minute songs, and yeah. So this was the first record I bought. Prince 1999.
The legend.
The legend.
Ooh. Next up is going to be, I believe, what is your favorite colored vinyl?
My favorite colored vinyl. I was playing this at the record shop, and this one customer, this girl, was like,
That cover,
"Oh,
you show
so
the cover too. That cover is like, I don't know if anybody watched
Never-
Attack on Titan, but that reminds me of some.
Nebuchadnezzar."
Okay.
Okay, and it's Atomic Rooster, early 70s stoner fucking prog band, but it was this guy, and this customer was like, she was like, "Oh, that's so pretty."
Yeah.
It is. It's kind of,
Yeah,
I don't
I
know
like
what
you got the light, right? And then
Yeah.
you got like the darker purple, so
yeah.
a lot going on there. So fun fact, I have a ton of colored vinyl. This is probably the most difficult question for me. A bunch of splatter, a bunch of like tricolor, stuff like that. For this one, it ended up being between the Arctic Monkeys, right, and an Anti-Flag album that I have. I ended up going with the Anti-Flag because the Arctic Monkeys was like this smoky type vinyl, and they have like actual like picture of like these. It comes with a poster of these cigarettes in an ashtray, and I thought it was just clever how they did it. But I went with Anti-Flag because although it's splatter, most splatter is like one color over the black, right, or one color over another. But this one had multiple colors. I'm going to go with Anti-Flag, Die for Your Government. We have the American flag, and what's really dope about this, the reason why I'd say it's my favorite colored vinyl, is bam. There's your red, white, and blue right there. So, you know, most of your splatter, it's just like, you know, blue. Yeah, but this, I like the fact that it was red and blue on white. And the fact that there's the American flag on the actual album cover. It just, I thought it was a nice package altogether.
Because I just did a video on MC5 and it was a red, white, and blue splatter, but it wasn't like that. That one's a really cool one.
I think this one came out recently too, so you'd probably find them at your local record store if you're into that. Next up is, what is a discount album that you own?
Okay, a discount album. I saw this album. The records inside were clean, nice. The cover and everything was beautiful on the outside. This is Rainbow on Stage with Ronnie James Dio. And it was just the inside had a little problem with the cover. And so I got a little discount on it. I was like, at the time searching for this, has all the original inner sleeves and everything. It was all nice, and the records, again, like I said, was beautiful, you know.
Ooh la la.
Ooh la la, yeah, but it was just someone who had this before, you know, screwed up, and I guess they got some water or some beer on it. Yeah, so I like how they have these inner sleeves on here. Everything is, like I said, beautiful. Everything is beautiful, but they messed up right there.
Yeah. I don't know. I wonder how that ended up even happening. They probably placed something wet on the inside.
And then it got stuck, you know. But look, Richie Blackmore survives.
Okay.
Ronnie James Dio, did he survive? Yes, and Cozy Powell. These guys, the cool.
Didn't make the cut.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool.
So for me, it would have to be Cypress Hill, Black Sunday. Now, the reason I have this under my discount is because there was some damage similar to yours, but I felt that the damage wasn't even... For the price I got it, you would think the damage would have been way worse. The actual media is like pristine. You can see on the side, you might not be able to see it on camera, but the side is kind of...
Spine, yeah.
Spine's a little
choppy.
Shot up. But, yeah, right. All the colors everywhere else are pretty vibrant. There isn't water damage. And, I don't know, it's just one of those records that... I don't have a ton. I have a lot of rock stuff. But if there's somebody that's coming over and I want like a friend to just have a good time, put on some Cypress Hill and you're set.
Right.
And what do we got here next? We got... Oh, and I like the fact that this was 1993. This is original, too. So that's why I'm like, woohoo, I was hyped. We got... favorite color? What is your prized possession?
Okay. I would have to say Jane's Addiction's Triple X album, out of print. First of all, I love this band, saw them in concert quite a few times, and I was searching for this one and found it, and it was just the one. You know, so I would have to say Jane's Addiction, Triple X. This is the one before the album came out of Nothing Shocking. So, live at the Roxy, they play even cover songs of rock and roll and Sympathy for the Devil. So, yeah, this is the one it's closest to my heart. I like. Yes, I found it.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Streetlight Manifesto. Pretty big ska punk band. Now, when it comes to this album, if anyone's familiar with this group, it is a pain in the ass to get. Everything Goes Numb. And when I say a pain, it is a pain. Whenever they do a reissue, it sells out like immediately.
This was on that wall, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was on the wall at one point, and I passed it up because I thought I could get it cheaper. And come to find, even on eBay, prices were skyrocketed. I just really wanted this record because I've seen them live at least 3 different times, and every time it's a good time. And I had a few of their other records. I got lucky they released it on their website, and I grabbed them before they sold out. But this one I never got fortunate enough. So the reason why this is my prized possession record is because this is the one I was hunting for the longest. And when I finally got it, I was like, yes, I'm completed. So
my collection is legit now.
I would also say that this is, I mean, I love The Clash, and I love a lot of, like, I mean, I've already shown another, I think, did I show another ska band earlier?
Nuh-uh.
No, but I'm not a ska mega fan. I do like some ska bands, but I'd say this might be blasphemous, but this is the best ska album, I think, ever.
Could be.
All right. And we have a record by a female artist.
Okay, so my choice is probably the vinyl me. Please, first time on vinyl. Fiona Apple's first album, and it runs like on 45 speed. Sounds really good. She's kind of crazy looking on here. Just take a look at it. Yeah, she's like on the labels too. It's really cool. Yeah. Fiona Apple. This is the one with Criminal and Shadow Boxer. It's like classic album from the 90s.
Nice gatefold too.
Yeah, nice gatefold. And yes, this one the top of the tops when it comes to female vinyl.
I'm going with the goddess of punk, the gorgeous Joan Jett. Bad Reputation. Okay. Just a solid album.
She has issues.
Some of my favorite songs that are on there. You Don't Own Me. You probably heard that a ton recently for the Suicide Squad or Birds of Prey, whatever the movie is with Margot Robbie. That kind of some of these songs made a comeback on there. But although Bad Reputation gets played to death, I don't get tired of it. I really don't. Just Joan Jett. I have quite a few female artists that are like rocker based, but if I had to pick,
I thought you were gonna get the Distill or something.
I was thinking about the Distillers. I had a lot of. That's the thing. You can only pick one, and I just feel like sometimes I want to go to like the root rather than just like the aftermath. So
right.
Hence Joan Jett. Now we got a record by your favorite band.
Okay, so this is a Rolling Stones now. This is an original 1965 mono, which because it has the maroon label on here, and a friend of mine, his wife passed on. He's like 70 years old, and this was his wife's collection, and he told me to go in there and get any record you want. And he had a bunch of original copies of stuff. That Aretha Franklin one I had, and all these other ones. I was just like, this is the first record I saw, and then, I've just been...
Well, that's cool, because sometimes when I come across situations like that, it's either always country records, or it's like movie soundtracks, but that's dope. Rolling Stones. You get
Yeah,
like, some
Doors. It was
Doors.
all like 60s rock and roll stuff. All of, and
I struggle with those type of sleeves too.
and they were in good condition, And so this one, yeah, it's a mono too. And so this was my prize.
So favorite band for me,
Favorite band.
it changes around quite a lot, but I'd say I'm going to go with the band where I listen to their albums most frequently, and that would be like the Danzig era and the Graves era, Graves era, of the Misfits. But I'm going to go with Static Age. I love Walk Among Us, but this is just like fucking amazing. Like every song on here is a banger. When it came to Earth AD, there were some songs from like, I don't know, and there was others like, this is awesome, but this whole entire album,
All killer, no filler.
All killer, no filler, exactly. Everything on here, short, sweet, a little bit of a head bop, a little bit of aggression, just perfecto. Misfits, Static Age. What we got? I can already tell by the album I'm looking at now, this is Impulse Buy. We're on the Impulse Buy section.
Okay. I was at Walmart just going to get some mozzarella cheese. Of course, I'm just going to cruise by to see what vinyls they got. And I just had to walk off with a record. And I got the Billy Joel Innocent Man. It was a
colored one, right?
Colored vinyl.
Is that yellow? Oh.
It's like I don't know. It's like a beige, right?
Beige?
It's a cream.
Cream, there you go. I like
Cream
that.
color.
I don't know if I've seen that color.
And the label looked really cool. This is when he just kind of issued out they issued out his whole collection. And I'm kind of contemplating if I should get some more of his stuff of this. You know what I mean? Just to match them all. But, yeah. This is Billy Joel. This is the one with Uptown Girl. Yeah. So this was an impulse buy. I just said, I gotta get it.
See,
just get something.
I wasn't in Walmart for my impulse buy. I was in Target for Evanescence Fallen. Main reason why I got this, one, it's a colored vinyl, and two, if you're my age, you remember watching Bring Me to Life.
I have that album. Mine's not colored.
Yeah, it's silver. I'm pretty sure yours is silver too.
It's not.
If I open this and it's black, I'm gonna laugh. I'm pretty sure I would have only got this if it was colored, but you know what? We'll find out. About to find out. Oh wow, it is black. Why did I feel like it was colored?
See?
Wasn't there a silver one? I gotta Google that now.
Yeah, because I think mine's black.
At one point they did something where it was
silver. I
silver.
remember there was a silver or some kind of color.
But I don't even know what I
think he passed it on by that first time.
Maybe. I don't know. It just
because something else came up and you're like, I'll get this one. I
don't know what happened. But just when I was younger, music video, she's climbing the side of the building. I was like a little kid.
That was
a
the Spider-Man thing too.
Yeah,
that was part of Spider-Man.
I don't know, but he was just like, the one guy where apparently
he left the band right after it came out.
He went on tour with them and he only did like 2 songs or something, and you just hear him, "Wake me up."
He had his own band later on.
Yeah.
But I like the I Immortal. That was a good song.
It was just.
The album was not bad.
It's also like kind of like a guilty pleasure type of album, for me, where every now and then I'll throw it on. The only reason I say guilty is sometimes I feel corny as fuck listening to this, but it's whatever. It's all right.
It is what it is.
Okay. A gift.
Okay. Now that I mentioned before that Jane's Addiction was my prized possession, or I think that was the one it was. So Dave Navarro is Jane's Addiction, and I don't like this band. I'm just gonna say that right off point.
Make sure they know.
Make sure you know. But however, my friend got me Red Hot Chili Peppers, One Hot Minute, because Dave Navarro is in the band, and so that's the only reason why. And there's only Chili Pepper album that I own, and that's the only reason why, because Dave Navarro was on it. That's it.
Okay. Our good friend Casey, who used to jam out with Chili here, got me Offspring Smash. I had pretty much every Offspring album there was. This one, it's one of my favorite albums from Offspring. I don't know why it took me so long to get around to this, and I told him...
you that other one.
Yeah, and I told him, like, hey, he said, what kind of record do you want for your birthday? I'm like, hey, I'm trying to get, I'd be down for Offspring Smash if you can find one. And I suppose there was, like, a reissue or something that he found online. And what this takes me back to was Crazy Taxi. There's this arcade game, okay? And then
I remember that game.
Yeah, doing their yas. You just be driving around, hitting people, trying to like get them to their stops right in the nick of time before the timer runs out. And if you run out of time, you got to put in more quarters. And I don't know, it was just... And the music video too, you had Derek with his dreads, just wilding with the flashing lights. It was
the dreads was a weird stage for him.
I feel like skateboarding was huge. I mean, it just... Another album that takes me back to simpler times. Ooh... I already know. Most played album.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to go with Prince's first masterpiece, Dirty Mind. Every song on here is a banger. I mean, Uptown, Head, Sister, songs about incest are in here. Gotta have that. Party Up. Short album, but great. I mean, this is kind of going into like some kind of new wave kind of stuff, the synthesizer stuff, some punk stuff that he's going into, and it's just, this is way before the the 1999 and the Purple Rain and all that stuff, and so it's just like Prince at his best. I thought at his best.
Gonna go with Adolescence, self-titled, and the good thing about Adolescence is, let's say your friend doesn't listen to Adolescence. Let's say you bring your friend to a show of theirs. Even if your friend does not know the lyrics, if a song like Amoeba comes on, it's easy to sing along, because after like the first or second go around, right? People pick up on it, and the next thing you know, I took my buddy, he's like next to me, and he's like, Amoeba, 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 and he never heard nothing before.
It's like a teen spirit.
It's like a teen spirit?
You know how that's so catchy, by the second time you hear it, you're just like, that build up.
Yeah, but like, teen spirit, like, I feel like people have to actually look up the lyrics sometimes, because unless you listen, with certain parts of that song.
That's the one, that's the hook.
Mama's... mosquito. Oh yeah. And it's just, the whole thing's fast, and I like records that are fast and fun. I love punk rock stuff, and another reason why I listen to it as like my most played record, ironically, is because it starts with an A, and it's one of the first ones I come across where I'm like, oh, I want to listen to something. So you start to scroll, and I get here, and usually that's the one I grab. So it's kind of don't think too much about it.
Okay.
And I think we're going for rarities now. What's your rarity?
Speaking of Nirvana,
I see what you did there.
Segue into the Blue EP. This is, look at that Kurt down there.
What was that again? Import from Ireland or something?
That's the other one. This is France, this is... not that many made out there, like 1,500. And I got me one, so I'm really happy with this. Don't really play it that much.
It was hanging for a while.
Blue, Love Buzz, Been a Sun, and Stain. Been a Sun is different on here, and Stain is different on here than on the Ancestor side. Jack and Dino sessions. These are, I think, BBC ones. I'm not sure, but yes, this is a rarity. So
I got two for rarity. I know I'm breaking rules. One I'll say is a rarity. The other one I'll say is a rarity because of... I'll explain. Alright, first up, we're going with Fear. You know the guy who got kicked off Saturday Night Live. You look at these faces.
He was in that movie.
Leaving, yeah, even one of the film reviews we did. Which one was it? It was
Wildlife.
Wildlife. Also, you might recognize him from Flashdance. He was the main prick in that movie.
Which one?
Flashdance.
Okay.
And he was in a few.
No, he wasn't. Was he in Flashdance?
He was in Flashdance. He was in a bunch of 80s movies.
Okay.
I can go through the list. Sometimes I get confused though with those movies. Like, is it Footloose? Is it Flashdance? Is it this? Is it that? It was a dancing movie. I'm pretty confident it was Flashdance though.
Okay.
The reason I put this as rarity was mainly because I have a decent amount of older punk stuff, but most of them are abused, straight up, beaten. I was thinking about the Germs, GI, like 1977 /records, but the corner was cut and there was all sorts of other crap going on with that. The media was good, but the sleeve was kind of fucked up. Everything's nice and pristine going on here with this one. Now, I think this requires a disclaimer for the controversial one. You probably already figured I like punk rock a lot. Now, I like talking about the history of punk rock as well. So with that being said, there's different facets to this sort of stuff, right? You have your little anarchist punk rockers, you got your commie punk rockers, which are kind of the modern punk rock kids today, pretty far left. And then you have your extreme right, skinhead, neo-Nazi type of punk rock, oi, stuff like that. And there's just like...
Well, I wouldn't consider them alt-right at the time when it came out. Well, because I think they're more anarchists.
When back in the 80s, I think you'd still consider them pretty far right if we're talking about Screwdriver.
If you're considering like, well, how we view that, how it's viewed today, with the you know what I mean?
I mean, I think they'd still view it as like, neo-Nazi, fascist, and I think fascism was always considered.
Yeah, they would consider it like that, but I wouldn't consider it like a part of a right-left.
So you might be wondering why I have this record. I have this record for a few reasons, okay?
Antisocial.
Yes. It's their singles collection from 77 to 81. One of the reasons why I have this record is when it comes to skinheads, and I take my friends to punk rock shows, and every now and then you'll see like a skinhead, right? But there'll be different types, right? There'll be the guy where he looks super friendly, and he's kind of like just jamming out, doing his little ska thing. And those, like reggae, I guess we'll go with sharps, right? Or maybe they want to associate with sharps. So there's different types of skinheads, right? If you even think about the movie Warriors, the Boneheads, there was black skinheads back then. So then you have like the history of like skinheads. And when it comes to hardcore punk, I think a lot of kids were influenced by bands like Screwdriver because they were heavy, loud, and fast. And mainly really aggressive, right? So then whenever I'm talking about this band and people might start assuming something, I'm like, wait, there's a reason. Because then I bring out Bad Brains. Because Bad Brains led a lot of people away from that kind of like hateful mentality where you can still be aggressive, still be hardcore, and it's not all about race, right? It goes back against like the government and everything else, which I feel like punk rock should all be about individuality and like expression, freedom.
At a time.
And yeah, another reason why I have this is because I think it's kind of unfair that communist records you can buy off of Discogs. You can buy off of like eBay. There's like no issue finding pro-communist punk rock bands on YouTube. But if you try looking up rock against communism or you try looking up music that is like fascist, I feel like they're both terrible, right? So how are you gonna say what because communists kill more of their own people that they're not as bad as they're both fucking terrible. Straight up terrible. But I guess my frustration why this is considered more of a rarity is because of the fact that you go to Discogs.
They won't sell it.
You can't buy it online. You have to just... I came across a record store, or the record store we go to, a Moondog.
Where I work.
and it was just sitting there, and the guy, I'm not trying to steer him the wrong way and be like, oh, I'm so excited to grab it, but I had to grab it because you can't buy these anymore.
Was it on the wall?
It wasn't on the wall. It was just I came across it, and because of the history and everything, especially when it comes to Screwdriver, right?
Yeah.
I think that you need all sides, kind of like you might as well read the Communist Manifesto, read the Constitution, do all that, so that way you can kind of have an educated background behind it. So when it comes to Screwdriver, I think it's also mainly a conversational piece.
They're not bad. The music is not bad.
Well, this one doesn't have as like far racist songs on there.
Singles on there.
Yeah, but there's stuff that anybody who's into punk rock would like, right? I Don't Like You. You can find that song on YouTube, and it's just about him singing about not liking people. There's not even race involved. There are other songs they have you're not going to find on YouTube because they're like white pride songs. Again, great conversation piece, I think, and I just felt like I needed to provide some context in case if there's anybody that's into the punk rock and was kind of curious about the history and stuff. Screwdriver. You can't talk about punk rock history and talk about like the straight laces and like they have like
straight edge.
They had lace.
There's all different ones.
They had lace code, right? About like whether you have like straight red laces, straight white laces, and there's the whole history of like people bashing heads in and stuff like. There's a lot to talk about. The
culture.
There. Yeah, so it's historical piece. All right, that's me done with my spill. What do we got next? We got a Rainy Day record.
Okay. Again, this comes to mind.
Bam! It's Nirvana.
Nirvana. This is just when it's raining outside.
Where did you sleep last night, Chili?
Yeah. I don't know. This album just kind of goes with the weather when it's just kind of gloomy outside and.
Man, You Sold the World. There's a lot of sad bangers on that.
But I mean, you get a hot cup of cocoa or something, and you just kind of chillax with this thing.
Is that on a gatefold too or no?
No, this is just the single.
Okay.
Because that one's a colored one. And it has the extra tracks.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this is Unplugged is my rainy day one, and I'm just kind of chilling out. Just sounds right. I don't know. What's yours?
All right, let's see here. We got The Cure, Standing on a Beach, the singles. Man, if I can take this thing out of here. When it's a rainy day, I'm feeling gloomy and I just want to lie down.
That's so happy.
But here's the thing though. It's, yes, there's like, Close to Me and stuff. There's poppy songs in here, but I don't know if there's just something about it where it's like I gain energy from it. It's not like super slow, like it's not the Smiths. It's still more upbeat than that, but it's like a sad upbeat to me. That kind of makes me feel like why I put it with the rainy day.
You should put the Joy Division on instead.
The Joy Division, but I only like a few songs from the Joy Division. Like this, I'll put on, and it'll be a little bit like sad and then like a little roll. I don't want a completely sad album for my rainy day record. I want a little bit of energy coming off of it. Plus, this is just don't miss.
Okay.
Name some bad songs off of this.
There is none.
Exactly.
It's a compilation of some great songs. Charlotte sometimes on there.
I was thinking Tears for Fears for a sec, songs from like The Big Chair, The Hurting, but I'm like, nah. Alright, next up. Wait. Funny. No, wait. Feel Good?
Feel Good.
Yeah, Feel Good record.
Okay, because you just use The Cure as, it's odd.
The irony.
As a kind of rainy day one, and my Feel Good one is this concert one, and this is a great one. This is an import from Ireland, and I always just kind of tripped out on this because, made in Ireland, and it's just like, what's it doing here? Like,
just ended up in your hands.
Someone from Ireland just put it in their fucking suitcase and said, I'm going to fucking, North America. I'm selling the house and I'm just taking my Cure record. But this I had the cassette of this where the concert's on one side and it was black, and then you turn it on the other side, it's white with black print, and the other side had like all these weird rarities like Heroin Face and like from the early times when they started out. And so this album has always kind of been with me as far as just like feel good, and they're actually better live. That's why I feel. And these songs, Shake Dog Shake, Primary Charlotte, Sometimes a Hanging Garden, The Walk.
Yeah, Killing an Arab is really feel good.
Yeah, it is a feel good song. And 10:15 Saturday Night. It comes alive 10:15 Saturday Night on this album. So The Cure live concert, great one.
Okay. I challenge you to listen to the Dead Milkmen, Beelzebub, Bubba, okay, and not laugh. If you can listen to this entire album and not laugh, then you either have no sense of humor or I don't know. You're watching the wrong videos.
You can get offended by it.
Oh, you can get offended by it for sure. Okay. I can't even quote a lot of the things that are said in the songs. All you need to know is that it is hilarious and it's very vivid.
More than the Violent Femmes, this is more feel good.
What?
Than the Violent Femmes.
This is more feel good though. Like one of the songs, Sri Lanka Sex Hotel. It's the whole entire song is about your stay at the sex hotel and what happens the sex hotel, and just she's mom, brat in the frat. Everyone's got nice stuff but me. Literally, the majority of that song is him saying that, but then he bitches and complains about things that kind of like crack you up a little bit. It kind of reminds me of the, I'm a loser, baby. So what, with like
self-deprecation.
Wait, what was the thing about in a world of chimpanzees, I was a monkey? It's like there's a lot of clever stuff. Like if you also like, I'm spazzing out, Bloodhound Gang, then you'd be into this. Right, like
clever lyrics.
Like Foxtrot, Unicorn, Charlie Kilo. There's a lot of clever stuff in here that cracks you up. Cracks the people I bring over to the house too when I put this on.
It's a clever. Their name of their band, the Dead Milkmen.
Mm-hmm. Next up is I can probably tell just by this. Yep, Nostalgia.
Okay, so. Growing up, this band was just like all the rage. It was just like pandemonium. It's just like if you ever been part of a Beatlemania, and ours was the early 80s was the Duran Duran thing. All the girls were just fucking crazy about these guys and fucking
hungry like the
So when I had Rio, My Own Way, I loved Lonely in Your Nightmare, Hungry Like the Wolf, of course. That's was a good pick, song. Yeah. I like Save a Prayer and The Chauffeur. And the Deftones do a great version of that song. It's a kind of eerie, kind of weird song. And there are the guys. Duran Duran. Class act. They just got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame too. Finally.
That's a cool album cover also.
Yeah.
So for me, going with the Killers, Hot Fuss. I think it was like 2005 or something that this came out. And it was just on the radio non-stop. On KROQ, Southern California. I would listen to Mr. Brightside.
That sounded so 80s.
Yeah, it
when
was.
I fucking heard that song.
Smile Like You Mean It.
All of it.
Somebody told me that
Jenny.
Jenny was a friend of mine. Yeah, and then after this one, I could have even put Sam's Town. That was also nostalgic as all hell for me, man. Like when all these other type of genres of music were getting huge, right? And rock was starting to kind of fade away a little bit. Like the Killers were on top of the world. The White Stripes were another option I could have picked, but just because this one had those two songs, Brightside and Somebody Told Me, which were on the radio nonstop. And whenever I was doing stuff with my friends or driving,
And it's a wedding song.
I was in the car or something going somewhere. It's one of those albums for me that I can put on, and there are certain memories associated with it from like when I was a kid. So that's definitely, I mean, that's pretty much nostalgia
how,
right there.
Mr. Brightside is like a wedding song. It's always like at people's weddings. I don't know why they.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up.
I don't get it.
You seen the music video?
Mm.
It has the guy that's also in The Dark Knight who plays Falcone, and he has the chick, right? Oh, we're losing light. He has the chick, and I forgot what the vocalist's name is, but he's trying.
Brandon Flowers.
Yeah, he's trying to woo her, and the guy who plays Falcone, he's pretty much, we're losing light. He's pretty much he's like the mob boss or something. He has the girl, and
Okay.
Stacy's,
I have to check that out again.
Turning, choking on it just I guess that's just okay. Record sale day.
Record store day.
Record store day.
Making his third appearance. This time.
Prince is just all over. I can't hate on it.
Yeah, and they used the gold experience for. This is the artist when he was known as the artist, not Prince, and this was gold vinyl. Translucent.
I don't know. It looks a little like pea color to me. No. It looks a little bit more yellow than gold, but
yeah,
I guess.
And they use the not the cover they put out on the regular one with his face and everything. This is actually the promo gold experience cardboard.
Quick
kind
question.
of
Is that a sticker on the top, or is that
just came like that. So, and then you have this in the back, and there's a little story liner notes in there. This was I think this was last 20 I think it was 2 years ago or last year. I think I got it last year when it came out on Record Store Day.
I think there was a Record Store Day. Like, this was not. I think it was from a Record Store Day a few years prior, and I found this in a bin. I think I took off the sticker for Record Store Day, but it's the specials, and I think a couple other groups are on there as well. I mainly wanted it for Ghost Town, and then come to find there were some other bangers on there when I'm in the mood for it. So
40th anniversary, the specials, the selector, the madness.
We got, let's see here, the Beat, the Body Snatchers, Par, and the special AKA Rico, and the special AKA the Swinging Cats. Let's see here. It's a cool album. I mean, cool inner sleeve. So that album on top was what I was originally going for, but then I saw this and it had a lot of the songs I wanted on it, so I'm like, I'm gonna grab this. Kind of like Joy Division. I got that compilation with Joy Division and New Order? Is it New Order?
Yeah.
So
You kind of bridged them together.
that's how I solved that dilemma. And last but not least, recent purchase.
I got this last week. This is Devendra Banhart. Double album. Some kind of like psychedelic
Collage. That's cool.
Yeah, psychedelic folk guy. Does all kinds of stuff. This came in at the shop, and it was odd because every time like someone's always coming into the store looking for something, and this woman was like, "You have any Devendra Banhart?" I'm like, "Oh shit!" Well, no, we don't. We were all looking, and then after that, this comes in. A day later, I was like, "Oh shit!"
And you didn't save it for
no, it's just like she was like, "Oh, it's gonna go somewhere else or whatever." But it's happened all the time, like And so this is like his 2006 album, and I was just like, fuck yeah. You know, it's got to change some sleeves on there, but you know, there's some coolness to this. So yeah, this was my last purchase. It's a weird collage.
So this one's still in the shrink wrap. Oh no, I did open up the side. All right, so got the damned, right? And I had this record originally, but it was on black, and I don't know. There was something about getting it on yellow. Just look at the letters, man. The letters match the actual vinyl.
So what's the vinyl look like? Is it piss yellow?
Honestly, it's no, it's not. It's like that highlighter. It's like a Sharpie yellow, not piss
fluorescent.
yellow. Yeah, not like your prints. Yeah, and so I gave Chili here the damned I did have. Traded him for. I wanted a Tears for Fears record. I had one originally. Sometimes we trade, and it's a circle, and right. I get the record back. And it was Greatest Hits, Tears for Fears record. The main reason why I wanted that record back, instead of songs from Big Chair, The Hurting, was mainly because I really like Everybody Loves a Happy Ending, and they only did like a promotional release for that record, and it was like on red vinyl. I think they only did like a few hundred of them.
It's like $5,000.
Yeah, it's like $3,000, something crazy. But there are songs on the Greatest Hits that are on that album. That's the only way you're gonna hear those songs from Everybody Loves a Happy Ending. I think Call Me Mellow, Closest Thing to Heaven, Everybody Loves a Happy Ending. There are a couple songs on there. Maybe Who Killed Tangerine. There are a couple songs on the Greatest Hits.
Is that on there?
I think Women in Chains is on there. Like Pale Shelter stuff.
Yeah, from the first album, that's on there. But I think they will probably maybe
reissue that.
Reissue it. They have to reissue.
If I can make a demand for a few albums, this is kind of a random side note, I guess, that we're going on right now. My requests are for
Rush.
I want that Everybody Loves a Happy Ending, for Tears for Fears. I want that to be reissued. I also want. I think they did a boot of it. I don't think it was ever like an official release of Smashing Pumpkins' Zeitgeist. I think it's called.
Okay, yeah, the one with the Statue of Liberty.
Statue of Liberty had Tarantula on there. I want that. And
they're putting out. I think Rashina is out. I believe.
I'm trying to think what was another one. Oh, Suicidal Tendencies. They have. What the hell is that album called? It has Psychovision on it. Not the one that has Psycho, because remember I was going to grab that where the guy has the flag and everything else, but not that one. There's one where it's called Freedom. Freedom, like free and then dumb, right?
Okay.
And they had that on CD, but they don't have it on vinyl, because it was like, I think towards the late 90s, a lot of those bands were like, we're done with vinyl, and I would like to see that. What were some that you mentioned? You said Rush?
Yeah, bring back some of the later Rush stuff that they did put out in their 40th anniversary, but those albums are still they're gone and they're just expensive when you see them. I would say that would be one of them. It's another one. That's something that you haven't really seen. Something I haven't really seen in a long time. That would probably nothing's crossing my mind right at this time. Presidents of the United States of America. That one.
Is that the one that
with Peaches?
I already knew that.
That would be a great album to be. I had it back in the day.
See, you were talking about my case, right? But that's the benefit of your case. All you had to do was just close it and then lock it. This is nice and big. I had buy this DJ case, but now when I try to hook it back up, like what if I was running away from some people? You would have gotten away. You got a quick lock. I'm over here stumbling. Okay, close that bad boy up. Now I gotta lock it.
Well, that's our vinyl tag video, and we went through our 20 questions, and it was very fun.
I had a good time. Usually I'm only here for the movie reviews, but
so yeah,
it was cool.
We were seeing everyone else was doing it, and we're like, yeah, well, we gotta set a date for it, and here we are. So leave us a comment below. What are your thoughts? And if you still haven't, please subscribe to the channel. And with that, we'll shut up, and we'll see you guys on the next video.
Take it easy. Later.